together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Damn it. Forgot to mute myself. There we go. We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And yes, this is a weird time for an ESP show. We're well aware. We're doing it tonight because tomorrow morning Tim's going to be traveling and so am I. So I don't have time in the morning to do a show, and neither does Tim. And it's playoff baseball. So we have to talk some playoff baseball here. We got 4 games in the MLB to go over. We got the 2 games. We got ALDS, NLDS. I have not moved on anything. And I plan on making all my moves after the show. This is to talk everything over, really, and letting everything sit for a few more minutes and really being able to talk things out and then go ahead and betting them and things along those lines. I do have full intentions on a few spots I really do like. So we will get into those on plays I'm looking to add. But no recap because, well, there's nothing to recap at the moment. Actually, there is. We lost the Sabres today. That was it. That was the only play that I really gave out on the show today. And currently I have Hamilton +4 in the over 50.5. Kind of shaky with that right now. I got Calgary plus the points in the over in the late game. I got UNLV laying the points, and I got Oregon laying the points later as well. So got a bunch of football going later, but we're here to talk some playoff baseball, and that's exactly what we'll do. We'll head over to the chat, and then we will get into the card. There we go. Clears throat. What's good, ISX? What's good, Nicholas Handy? Smoke and mirrors, folks. Not really twins. Yep. I miss this show. Yeah. I miss having you in the chat. It's weird not having you in the chat. So no anything on the Pens Jackets scoreathon. I didn't even know the Pens and the Jackets played today. Honestly, I don't care about preseason hockey, to be straight up. But we'll talk some playoff baseball here. And I've recorded a free pick video for this one. I've recorded free pick videos for 2 games that I plan on betting. This is one of them. Cleveland Guardians, Detroit Tigers. Guardians -145 favorites, total of 7 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot where it opened up at the Guardians -152. It's now 144. So we do have an 8-cent live movement here towards the Motor City Kitties. And then this line opened up at a 7 -120. It's down to a 7 at -105. So we do have a move towards this under. We have a move towards the Tigers in this game here. 78% of the tickets and 90% of the cash is on the Guardians. The line's moving towards the Tigers here. 56% of the tickets, 57% of the cash on the over in this one as well. For the pitching matchup here, Tyler Holton will be starting the game or opening the game for the Detroit Tigers. I expect some Reese Olson then after that. So that's kind of where I'm thinking about for this game. One thing we know for sure, Tanner Bybee is going to be going, and I think he goes 5 to 6 innings. 2.64 ERA, 1.04 whip, 9.10 strikeouts per 9, which is 25%, 2.64 walks per 9, a 260 BABIP, a 3.59 FIP, and a 3.82 SIERA. The bullpen edge does go towards the Cleveland Guardians, and they are rested and they are ready to go with arguably the best bullpen that I've seen since the 2015 Royals. Like when I'm comparing bullpens with Cleveland, that's the first one I go to. So there's that. The Tigers, 84 WRC plus, which is 21st in baseball last 30 days against righties, so they've kind of struggled there. I have a bullpen game, so I didn't really put Cleveland's numbers down. Against right-handed pitching, they are 21st, 84 WRC plus last 30 days. And against left-handed, against lefties, 145 WRC plus, which is third, which they are getting a lefty to start the game tomorrow, but he's not going to be going super long. So I didn't think those numbers were super in play. We have the Detroit Tigers coming in off of a sweep, a 2-game sweep over the Houston Astros to end that team's dynasty. The Cleveland Guardians, they had to bye. They ended off the year with 2 losses to Houston, but they didn't really care because they clinched the division a while back. The Detroit Tigers before that, after they clinched the playoffs, thought they lose to Chicago, but then they obviously go to Houston and win both. Holton went 1 inning in the second game against Houston. I expect kind of similar there. This is going to be a fun series for baseball purists. Like the way I was describing this series to Detroit Lenny, this is pitching porn. Because it's going to be awesome. It's going to be 2 bullpens that are absolutely elite. I mean, if you look at this Cleveland bullpen, it is unreal, the seasons that they had. And that's probably one of the big reasons why they are where they are. I can't even list their pitchers because none of them have pitched in the last 5 days, though. So overall, I'm going to be on unders in this game. To make a long story short, I'm going to be on probably the first 5 under and the full game under. I'm probably going to move on those after the show. The first 5 has moved towards the under. The full game has moved towards the under as well. Things I love to see there. So I'm going to be on first 5 full game unders in this series. I think the entire series with this matchup. I think this is going to be the lowest scoring series of the divisional series.
I'll make an argument for another one, but I'll talk about the Royals series in a minute. I like the Tigers in this one. And I'm taking them plus money. So once again, and you're going to notice this is going to be a little bit of a theme. I'm going to trust all the wild card teams in the first day. I'm going to trust them all to at least half of them win. Because if half of them win, then I'm profitable. I'm going to go with the momentum over the rest. Because I think, and what we've seen lately, especially with the National League side more than the American League side, the teams coming from the wild card have all the momentum, and the teams that are coming from the buys are rusty, more than rested. I think that's going to come into effect with the Guardians' bats. I don't hate your under either, but I'm going to be on the Detroit Tigers. I got plus 134.
Yeah, I think that's probably worth a look. If I'm going to take a side in this game, with the way the markets are moving, I can only look at them gritty Tigers. And maybe with me looking at first 5 and full game under in this one, I was looking more towards this type of play for game 2 with Scooble on the mound, but I don't think that price will be worth it. Tigers first 5 plus a half. I project this as a low variance type of game, 0-0, 1-1 at the end of 5, and I cash both the first 5 under and the plus a half. I think this is low variance. I do worry that potentially we can see a home run from like Naylor or Ramirez or Big Christmas or someone like that. Mazzardo is somebody I would take a look at for home runs and stuff like that. But yeah, I think this is going to be a series of when there are runs scored, it's going to be solo shots.
It could be. Tigers versus Yankees, Mets versus Dodgers. That would have to be my probable prediction.
I would switch out the Guardians. I think the Guardians win the series, and I think the Padres win the series. Other than that, I think you got it right. I think the Yankees make the World Series. That's disgusting.
Is it a replay of this morning or is it live? It's a replay. Yeah. We're not actually live.
It's all a figment of your imagination.
Dumbass. It's live. Yes, it is. It's a replay. Yes, it is. Let's see if they read this proof that it's live. Nope, we're not live. They won't because it's a replay. Exactly. See, we're not live. It's a replay.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see if they picked Buffalo to win. Then it's a replay.
I will probably be on the Buffalo Sabres tomorrow because I predicted it to be a split.
You're disgusting.
Sorry.
All right, let's do this one.
Yeah.
Weren't the Phillies 190? Oh, that was to win the series.
That was to win the series. This line opened up at a 185 yesterday. It dropped down to a 178 today when they announced the starting pitcher for the New York Mets. It's now minus 175 for the Phillies. So we have a line move towards the Mets in this game here. Line opened up at a 7.5 when they announced the pitcher this morning or this afternoon. Went down to a 7, minus 115, and it stayed there in this spot. It's going to be Kodai Senga for the New York Mets versus Zach Wheeler for the Philadelphia Phillies. 84% of tickets, 93% of cash is on the Philadelphia Phillies here in Game 1, with the line moving towards the New York Mets. 80% of the tickets, 78% of the cash is on the over in this game as well. The line not really moving. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup here. Kodai Senga will be making his first appearance since his one start against the Atlanta Braves, and I want to say June. I expect him to go 2 innings, maybe 3, and that's about it. I don't expect much from him, though, like to depth-wise. On the flip side, Zach Wheeler has been one of the best pitchers in baseball this year. 2.23 ERA, 0.84 whip, 11.41 strikeouts per 9, which is 34%, 1.95 walks per 9, a 239 BABIP, a 2.49 FIP, and a 2.70 SIERA. Bullpen edge goes towards the Mets. Hitting edge does go towards the Phillies, 119 WRC plus, which is 3rd, compared to 89, which is 18th. I expect this to be Kodai Senga with either David Peterson or Tyler McGill piggybacking him. That's kind of what I'm projecting for this game. And the way that the line is moving suggests that the Mets are very, very live in this game. And I think the Mets are more alive in the first 5 than the full game. And this line's dropped in the first 5 as well. And it leads me to wonder what is the first 5 number here for getting a half a run with the New York Mets. That's where I lean in this one. First 5 plus a half, or the first 5 under, because I do think Senga can pitch decent. First 5 plus a half, minus 105. I think that's where I'm going to land on the Mets tomorrow, is the first 5 there plus a half. Because I think this is a low variance type of game. Once again, I'm looking at unders. It would be my lean here in this spot, first 5 under, a full game under, something along those lines. But I'm more interested in the Mets side in this one. It's another spot where I see them as one of the more live dogs on the slate. I get it, it's Zach Wheeler, but I was actually looking at stats, Tim. 12 starts since 2022 combined for Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler versus the New York Mets. They've combined for a 2-10 record with those 2 pitchers on the mound against the Mets. Zach Wheeler, 2-5. Aaron Nola, 0-5. Aaron Nola has the Phillies have lost 5 straight Aaron Nola starts versus the New York Mets. Yeah. So that's something to keep in mind as well, is the Mets know how to hit Wheeler. Like, that's not something I'm afraid of. And at the very least, I think
Sorry, I was just muted for I think for like a minute or so.
Oh, cool.
I just saw it pop up on my computer.
Yeah. So I'm probably going to land on the Mets first 5 plus a half. It's minus 105. I think that's where I'm going to land on with this game.
I'm going to do the same thing that I kind of did with the first game. And we're going to do it with the rest of the games too. I'm taking the wild card team in game 1. All of them are plus money. I think we at least get a split. And I honestly prefer to get the Mets and the Royals. Those are the bigger dollars.
Yeah.
I also took the under in this game. I did a free pick video for ESP, and I did the under. I personally think that you can. I think Wheeler shuts down the Mets a little bit. And I also am leaning towards the. You all right?
Yeah, I just swallowed it wrong.
Okay. By the way, you taking off your camera and everything. We can say. Anyways.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Anyways, I think Wheeler kind of can shut down the Mets through 5-6 innings. I think we might get a pretty similar game to the Milwaukee game, where it's going to come down to late pitching and bullpen work, which I know the Mets are a little bit taxed with bullpens, but
which is why I only want the first 5 plus a half, not the full game.
But I think that they'll be able to hold down enough. I think they have enough pieces in that bullpen to kind of work through it. That, and I think you go from Senga. If Senga can give them 3 innings, I think you get McGill. I think McGill can give them 5. So all of a sudden, that's 8 innings, and you can use all your bullpen tomorrow or the next day.
Yep.
Game 2. So I look at this one. I like the under, and I'm on the Mets in this one as well. Mets money line.
Yeah.
Can you believe the Mets let Wheeler go? Can you believe the Mets let Lugo go? Okay. What's your point? This was years ago.
Can you believe the Yankees let King go?
I know, right?
Like, I mean,
Never bet against Wheels. Take Mets versus Nola. Mets. I just saw Mets team total is 2.5 minus 140. Never seen Mets team total that low, especially in Philadelphia. They always hit there. It makes sense with them being a big dog and them being, and the total being a 7 in itself.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
That makes sense.
That's telling me that the weather's gonna be cold.
It tells me it's playoff atmosphere. I don't know about cold weather in that game. I will look that up though.
Wheeler's 2-5 versus the Mets, but sure, he wins. Let's keep on rolling, Nick.
Yeah, 2-5 since 2022 against the New York Mets. I mean, if you really think that's winning, then sure, you have a weird definition of winning now. New York Yankees taking on the Kansas City Royals. We have the Yanks minus 200 favorites in this game, total 7.5. Now, this is a tricky spot for me. I would like to back the Yankees in this game. I don't know how to. And let's get into it. This line opened up at a 182. It's up to a 200. Line opened up 7.5 minus 120. Still 7.5 minus 120. No line movement on the side on the total. Big line movement on the side. 89% of the tickets, 86% of the tickets, 96% of the cash is on the New York Yankees. The line moving towards them. And then we have 81% of tickets, 81% of cash from the over. Line's not moving. Taking a look at the pitching matchup here, we have Michael Waka taking on Garrett Cole. Waka 2.60 ERA. 1.12 whip, 8.13 strikeouts per nine, which is 23%, 2.28 walks per nine, a 289 BABIP, a 306 FIP, and a 4.19 SIERA. On the flip side, Garrett Cole, 2.53 ERA, 0.72 whip, 8.44 strikeouts per nine, which is 25%, 1.97 walks per nine, a 200 BABIP, a 2.23 FIP, and a 3.67 SIERA. Bullpen edge does go towards these Kansas City Royals. Hitting edge goes towards the Yankees, 97 WRC plus, which is 15th. Against the Royals, 75 WRC plus, which is 28th. I think Garrett Cole shoves in this game. Like, that's my initial reaction is he shoves. And the ultimate question is, how do I back the Yankees in this spot? Because I think the Yankees take care of business in this series. I think they are the by far better team. And this is definitely the best draw that they could have had was the Kansas City Royals. And I know people are like, oh, the Orioles suck during that series. They couldn't hit any. Yeah, but it's still a divisional rival. And if I'm the Yankees, I would rather have the Kansas City Royals than the Baltimore Orioles. I completely botched those two. But for me, I want to find a way to back the Yankees. And for me, it's probably a first 5 run line. Minus a half. It's minus 135. It's a little juicy, but I think the juice is worth the squeeze on this one. It could be a Kansas City team total under. Maybe a first 5 team total under. Ask Garrett Cole to come out here and shove like I think he can against a Royals team that swept a series in the wild card round, scoring 3 runs. So let's not act like the Royals dominated that series against the Baltimore Orioles. They didn't. They scored 3 runs. They scored when they needed to. And this first 5 minus a half is minus 135. The first 5 team total is 1.5 for the Kansas City Royals, minus 135 to the under. The full game is 3.5, minus 145 to the under. They're juicing this too much where they don't want me to bet it. I want to find a way to back Garrett Cole and the Yankees. I just don't know how, though. And I think the way I'm going to do it is the Yankees to win game 1 in the series was minus 125. I said that this morning. I think that's the way I'm going to move on this series. And maybe the first 5 run line. I might move on the first 5 run line for the Yankees in this one as well.
I doubled up on this game as well. I took Kansas City because, once again, I'm going to be riding all the wild card teams for at least game 1 of the series. And getting some nice plus price tags, and then we'll kind of reconsider from there. And I took the under. And I think this is going to be like a 3-2 type of game, a very low scoring game as well. Just a playoff atmosphere. And I could see the first 3 games being unders because I expect Cleveland to be colder. I expect Philadelphia to be colder. I expect New York to be colder than LA. So I expect lower scoring games there. Yes, the pitching will be good there. But when temperatures are colder, most of the time, it means you're going to end up getting balls that don't fly out as fast, and unlike when it's humid out. So that's why you normally get lower totals in the beginning of the season and in the playoffs. I'm on the under in this one. I took Kansas City at a big price plus tag.
I'm kind of interested in the Yankee double result. First 5 full game, it's -110. That might be the play there.
Yanks got Soto for King. Don't even question why they let him go. So Earle doesn't trade King for Soto.
Well, only 1 year of Soto.
Okay.
I will revisit this comment on the day that Soto signs with somebody. If Soto does not re-sign with the Yankees, that trade is a massive failure for New York. For 1 year of Soto, the amount that you gave up, you better re-sign Soto for a long time with the amount of assets that they gave up in that trade. If they re-sign him for a long time, I'm fine with the trade. The Yankees are fine. You let him walk, especially to the New York Mets or a team like that, that is a massive failure of a trade for the New York Yankees.
Do you think this Yankee team makes the playoffs with King but no Soto?
Yes. I think this team makes the playoffs with no Soto.
It's the same deal with Ohtani. I think they would make it. The Dodgers make it without Ohtani.
Yes, the Dodgers absolutely make it without Ohtani.
So this definitely is Boone's last shot. It's World Series or bust. Anything less, he's gone.
They absolutely should make the World Series.
They're plus 110 to make the World Series right now. There's no excuse. You have to go through Kansas City
and Cleveland,
and either Cleveland or Detroit. There is no excuse for the Yankees this year. None. You guys got a fugazi run that you guys can make. Judge home run. He should.
Yeah, why not?
Royals have 1.5 hitters to fear. They should beat this team, no excuse.
Absolutely. And I think the Yankees do. I even put it on my predictions when I put out on Twitter. I said Yankees in 4. And here's the thing. The Yankees might sweep this series. Because I was looking a little bit deeper in there. I know everybody wants to give Kansas City the Reagan start. That Reagan start game 2 is going up against Carlos Rodon. You know what the Royals can't do? Hit left-handed pitching. They are horrible against lefties.
That's an under game.
That is a dead nuts under game, and that might still be Yankees.
Yanks ain't winning squat, which is going to be great. Same goes for LA. I hope you're right.
I hope you're right, too.
I 100% hope you're right, Eric. FanDuel offers moneyline / total runs parlay.
Yeah, I was trying to look towards maybe getting the Yankee moneyline -200 with like an under 8.5 or something like that. Fortunately, Bovada's not letting me do that.
Oh, whoa. Earle's on it this time, passing y'all the blunt and the bruise, and it's on to you guys. All right, pass it. No? Okay.
Yeah, it's just our schedule. Tomorrow morning, we're both going to be traveling at the time of the show. So, We're not going to be available yet.
There's no way this Yankee team makes the playoffs with no Soto.
I think they absolutely do.
I disagree.
I think they're a wild card team. I think they finished with a record around the Royals. They're not the number 1 team in baseball without Soto, but they're a playoff team without Soto.
Oh, for sure.
That's still one of the best rotations in baseball. It's a solid bullpen, and the lineup outside of Soto is still fine. Good enough to make the playoffs. Yes.
Kidding, but good to see y'all, sending y'all in the chat. Good luck heading into the weekend. Let's do it. If you loaded up left-handed pitching versus New York, they're done.
I don't agree with that because the Yankees are, if you look at the last 30 days, 107 WRC plus, which is 9th against lefties. The Royals are dead last at 20 WRC plus. I think you stack up lefties against the Royals, they're done. So there's that.
Let's go to the last game, Nick.
Yeah, if there's a game I like overs in, it's this one. Let's get into it. We have the LA Dodgers and the San Diego Padres. This line -130 for the Dodgers, total 7.5 in this game. This line opened up. I saw it opened up at an 8, juice towards the under, but that was before Yamamoto was confirmed, and then they confirmed Yamamoto, and it goes to a 7.5. And since then, it's moved 5 cents towards the over. Line opened up at a 130 after they announced Yamamoto. After they announced Yamamoto, it opened up at a 130. It's down to a 128. So we have a 2-cent line movement towards the San Diego Padres, and we have a 5-cent line movement towards the over. 87% of the tickets and 80% of the cash is on the over in this one here. 77% of the tickets, 84% of the cash on the Dodgers. The line's moving towards the Padres. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup here where we have Yoshinobu Yamamoto taking on Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease at 2.97 ERA, 0.96 whip, 8.01 strikeouts per nine, which is 23%, 2.97 walks per nine, a 2.22 BABIP, a 2.8 FIP, and a 4.24 SIERA. On the flip side, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, very limited sample size since coming back off the IL, 3.38 ERA, 1.31 whip, 11.81 strikeouts per nine, which is 31%, 2.81 walks per nine, a 375 BABIP, a 2.29 FIP, and a 3.04 SIERA. Bullpen edge, massive one towards the San Diego Padres. The Dodgers, though, still have a really strong bullpen. Hitting-wise, 133 WRC plus, which is second for the Dodgers against righties, 116, which is fourth for the Dodgers against for the Padres against righties. Both these teams top 4 in baseball the last 30 days versus right-handed pitching. I am going to be, and I did a free pick video for this one here, I am going to be on the first 5 over 4 in this game is the way I approached it. This line not really moving too much for the first 5 here. I see this as one of those games where I like the over early because I think we see early runs in this game. And then after that, I could see this game die. I think we could see this spot where we could see this game be 3-2 at the end of 5, and then bam, it's 4-2 at the end of at the end of the game, or something along those lines. Where I don't want to mess with that Padre bullpen for a full game over. Pretty plain and simple there. Honestly, I think a good live betting situation here is we get 5 runs in the first 3 or 4 innings, and then we live bet an under at like 9.5 or something along those lines. I like this first 5 over 4. It's -115. I'm also looking a little bit at the Padres team total over 3.5 at -115. I like the Padres in this game. I like the Padres in this series. I do think they put up runs, but I like more of the overs in the game 1 here, and I expect them to get to Yoshinobu Yamamoto, which they have both times they've faced them this year. Granted, they were early in the season, including one in Korea, but I do expect the Padres to be able to hit Yamamoto. He's never experienced playoff baseball like this before, and this is going to be a huge situation for him. Dylan Cease has been there, done that. A few times, I believe, with the White Sox. But hey, I like this game to go over though. First 5 specifically more than full game, which you know me, I'm somebody who advocates for first 5 unders, full game overs type of thing there. I don't want to mess with this Padre bullpen, and this Dodger bullpen does kind of worry me for a full game over as well, because I think they can both go, and it could be 4-2 at the end of 5 innings and then nails after that. So I'm going to be on the first 5 over 4. I think it's also kind of telling that the first 5 is a 4 and the full game's a 7.5, and not a 3.5 and a 7.5, because usually we'll see that. So I think that's kind of telling that Yoshinobu Yamamoto is kind of vulnerable in this spot. So I'm going to be on this first 5 over, and I'm going to be probably on the Padre team total over as well.
Sounds good. I just took the Padres in this one. Once again, every single wild card team tomorrow. That's where I'm going to roll, and I'm expecting at least a split. If I can get 3 out of 4, I'm in great shape. If I can get them all to sweep, that would be freaking fantastic. I don't see the sweep, but I just think all the wild card teams are going to come out hot, and I think it's a good spot to roll with all those teams, along with my couple of totals. But I'm going to trust Dylan Cease in this one, who has been fantastic this year. Yamamoto, I don't trust. This is his first time pitching in an MLB playoffs. He's looked good down the stretch, but he really hasn't been stretched out all that much.
No.
The most that he's been stretched out is anywhere from 3 to 5 innings. So I don't really see him going too deep in the game, and I don't trust the Dodger bullpen. I like the Padres here. Ready? I think the Padres win game 1. I still think the Dodgers win the series. I think Dodgers in 5.
You know my thoughts on the Padres. So.
I understand your thoughts on the Padres. I still think Dodgers in 5.
I think if the Dodgers win a game in the series, it's game 2.
They could. I'm taking the Padres. That's why I said Padres game. What is the odds for Padres game 1 and then Dodgers win the series?
I can give you that in just a second.
Where would I look that under?
I can. Let's see. There we go. LA. Series game 1 series parlay. LA. Oh no, San Diego game 1 Dodgers series is plus 475. On the flip side, Dodgers game 1 Padres series is 5-1. I kind of like the over 4.5 games here as well. I do see, but I kind of actually my bad. I gave out Padres in 4. I think the Padres win, or I think the Dodgers can take game 2, which is Darvish versus Flaherty. I think that's the spot that if you want to back the Dodgers in the series, that's the game to do it.
There you go. Padres money line. They do not fear the chumps in LA.
Nope, they do not. They do not fear the Dodgers. They were 8-5 against them this year.
T-Wolves Finch is 11-1-1 against the spread in preseason. They are the Ravens of the NBA preseason wise.
Interesting
to know. I personally don't bet basketball in the preseason. But good luck. These guys telling a Yankee expert that the Yankees make the playoffs with no soda. Judge alone.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why not? Why, you think? Yeah, no, for sure. Mm-hmm. Didn't the Dodgers own the Padres? No, opposite way.
No, the Padres played really well against the Dodgers this year.
I love fading starting pitchers off IR. Fair enough. You guys mentioned hot teams going into the playoffs. Dodgers on a 5-game winning streak currently.
Yeah, they played the Colorado Rockies 3 times. Who cares? And they had a week off to kill that momentum.
That's my one concern is killing the momentum and being rusty. They asked Ohtani, are you nervous about your first playoff experience? Answer, no. Look out, Bongzai.
Was he supposed to say, yeah, I'm terrified?
He's not going to say no.
No, that's stupid.
Western Michigan.
Who are they playing? Now I got to get up my college football stuff.
Ball State.
I want to say I took Ball State. Or Ball State was a lean for me. I didn't bet them.
I'm only taking the Dodgers because the Earle's Dodger fade. It annoyed me all year. Tired to save him money, and he never listened.
Well, it's no longer the Dodger fade anymore. I'm going to cap each game now.
Padres were 8-5 straight up. Yep. Tigers still in Holton again. Yeah, yep. I mean it's a 1 or 2 inning guy.
It'll probably be Reese Olson for a decent chunk of the game.
And then Colorado State. He's got against Oregon State.
Where did I? I did not bet that.
I think I kind of lean Oregon State, but
I stay completely away from that one.
There you go. But that is all the games for today, or for tomorrow. Nick, did you want to talk the Sabres at all, or?
Yeah, I didn't type it up, but I went into this thinking that if the Sabres won the first game, I'd probably look towards New Jersey the second game. Or if the Sabres lost the first game, I'd probably look to go back to the Sabres the second game. I think this is a split. I think these two teams split the international games and head back 1-1, both of them. So I'm going to look at the Buffalo Sabres most likely. Is this game really at 2:50 or 2:50 a.m.?
Sabres?
Yeah.
No, 9 a.m.
Okay. Then it's reading wrong. But yeah. I don't have any available numbers. That's first half. I don't have any numbers to go off of at the moment, so it's a stay off spot for me because I don't have the lines for it. But I think it's probably going to be Sabres here for me.
Okay, that's fine. I just figured I mentioned it.
That
is the 4 games for tomorrow. We'll go ahead. Obviously, all my picks are going to be in the CapperTek already. But if anybody mentions it, bam, there you go. Oregon money line. I think you're an idiot.
I would lay the points. I will never.
Are you actually asking for a minus 2,500?
I think you're retarded if you lay that type of number.
Okay, easy there. James Madison, because you're making fun of retarded people.
Oh, sorry.
James Madison minus 16.
I took the points in that game.
ULM.
Yep.
I see some 15s now.
Yeah, I got 17 earlier in the week with the Warhawks.
trust of General Booty.
Trust General Booty. There you go. Profit FanDuel boost on Mizzou money line plus 160. I will say, I'm on the Aggies.
I'm on the Aggies.
A&M.
Yep, I'm on the Aggies too.
Hey, there you go. Senga, his K prop start at 3Ks. How many innings do you expect him to go? 2 to 3.
2 to 3.
2 to 3.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah, three is about right. I expect him to be more of an opener tomorrow.
Yeah.
I expect him to look good in the opener as an opener, but expect him to be more of an opener. That is everything for today. We'll be back again on Sunday.
Yes.
Or Nick will be back on Sunday. I'll be back on Monday. Until then, let's go Mets.